Do you feel trapped in a dysfunctional marriage, but you can't get out? Here is some ways to heal yourself within such a toxic environment. Hi, I'm Suzette the Marriage Warrior, and I'm going to give you some clues today on what to do if you're trapped. Listen, guys, there is a lot of that going on right now in our current cultural climate, and that is the people in the marriages are feeling the dysfunction in the marriage. Some of it has to do with the fact that we're learning so much about narcissism, gaslighting, blame shifting, argument cycles, all of that. We're getting much more educated as individuals, but you're feeling the toxicity in a way that's almost non-livable. And you may have a partner that just is unwilling to change. Any effort you've made to talk to them, to get them in counseling, any help self books, anything, they are unwilling, and you feel like you're stuck. And probably you are. If you have financial issues that you feel like you can't get out, if you have young children and you feel like you can't get out and leave them in this kind of toxicity even half the time with your partner, listen, there are situations that you feel like you just can't get out. Now, I will preface this that if you are being physically harmed or it is dangerous and threatening to your body or your children's body, you have to get out. I don't care what you have to do to get out, you have to get out. But if it's emotional damage, that's just as bad. It's just somehow as humans, we think we can tolerate that. But we're at a stage right now in humanity's development where we cannot tolerate it anymore. But if you're stuck, it's like, what do I do? I'm going to teach you how to heal yourself first before any major moves are created inside of the dynamic. And I would encourage you guys to not go into the divorce courts. The divorce courts will just make you kick the can down the road, and it's going to make you very adversarial with one another, and it's super expensive. And so I have created some divorce things that will help couples to get out of a marriage that is harmonious for the family dynamic. If you want to get me to help you, you can let me know and contact me. Marriage Warrior Institute helps you empower yourself in the individual course as well. But if we're just talking about how to help yourself heal inside of a marriage you cannot get out of, you first have to understand self-care. So what I want you to do is start journaling through the days and start tracking your energy. Where is your energy being just sucked out of you? What kind of interactions are y'all having that then suck the energy out of you? Start tracking that. So I want you to start tracking yourself, where you're feeling uplifted, what is uplifting for you, what is not, and then learn how to create boundaries. When you feel that an interaction is going to go in a direction that is going to drain some of your energies, then just start to say no. You don't have to walk away. You don't have to argue. You just have to say, I would like for us to have this discussion at another time when we're both calmer. If they run after you or threaten you in any way, then just say, I said I would like to have this discussion when we're both calmer. Would you like to discuss this in the morning or tomorrow or whatever? Because that kind of control is going to make you feel very threatened, and the other person is trying to push the agenda. Now, if they're trying to push the agenda and you don't say anything, you just sit there, then you're not setting boundaries. You're not giving direction of what you need, what you're expecting from them, etc. And so you're just part of the game that's going on of power control. So if you start taking some time to track your energies and know what's draining and what is fulfilling, that will help you. What you will see is if you're in a toxic dynamic, you are not getting a lot of fulfilling energies coming into your existence, and therefore that's part of what's draining. There's no balance. And so the toxicity of a relationship or a marriage will cause someone to isolate from others. It causes them to ruminate a lot, where they're thinking about things and bad things going on in their brain. So you need to track that too, and you need to start doing some things to replace those things in order to balance the negative things that are going on in your life and in your relationship, that some of them you can't even control. Then you need to impart in some self-care things, find new hobbies, find new friends, find a support network, even if it's coaching or counseling, find something that can kind of be a foundation under you while you're trying to reset your own centeredness. I want you to start going on walks because that releases energy, and your partner will start to see some of the changes and more than likely will get threatened. If you have a partner that has been resistant to any kind of help and they just keep the cycle going and they see you start to change, it will awake them on some level. But we're not doing it to awake them. We're doing it to center you, so that then when a decision has to be made, either the decision is to really implement the need for counseling for y'all and put the person in a position where they understand that this is not going to work for me unless we have counseling, or make a strategy to exit. Either way, you've got to get better. And you're not in a place right now, if you've been in a dysfunctional situation and not done the kind of center work that you really need to do before you make an exit, to make an exit anyway. And so you've got to regroup yourself, connect with the things you love. Find a place to be grateful every morning. Find at least 2 or 3 things that you wake up and you say, I'm grateful for this. Find forgiveness work. Now, that does not mean you forgive and you stay if you need to leave. You forgive to release the energy out of you in order to then be able to make good decisions for yourself and those you love around you. And so forgiveness, some people say, well, I can't forgive him. He's done such. I'm not asking you to forgive him for what he's done. I'm asking you to forgive him so that you don't have that inside of you anymore. So release work, and in breath work and meditation, releasing forgiveness is very helpful. And then if you center yourself around good coaching or good counseling and a good network of support, you will then start feeling stronger and more empowered within yourself. I promise you that will make the dynamic between y'all change, even if it's subtly, because your partner will see something is changing. And in a dynamic, when one thing starts to change, it will cause another reaction, an unexpected reaction. Your goal is to heal yourself. Some of you may have to radically accept that you will never get expectations met within this partnership, but you feel stuck. That is not the route that I would encourage you to go. I want you to empower yourself. Once you start to empower yourself, you'll get clearer pathways on which direction to go. I hope this helps you today. This is Suzette the Marriage Warrior. Please subscribe to the channel or make any comments that you want me to answer so that I can help you further.